we wanted to tell you about a really cool opportunity for the month of May. May is National Physical Fitness and Sport Month, and we wanted to inspire you to get out, be active, and stay healthy. So the library is sponsoring a virtual 5K. It's called our Readers on the Run 5K. It's for all ages, and it's really, really simple. You have the entire month to complete it. So if you're a really active runner already, you can get out and run your 5K like a race, like you normally would. If you're not quite as active but want a challenge, you can complete your 5K in chunks. You can also do it as a walk or a run. So it's a really great opportunity for families, young children, just anybody to get out, challenge yourself to be active, to get moving, to walk or run those 5 kilometers. And we are so excited when talking about our 5K to have some running experts with us. This is Chris and Chip, and their store is here in Clemson, Gotta Run Clemson, but they have a couple more locations. And I'm gonna let them talk to you guys about running. So take it away, guys.
Hey guys, so as Casey said, my name's Chris. This is my partner Chip Rouse, and we own Gotta Run Clemson. We have 3 locations in the upstate, one here in Clemson, one in Simpsonville, and one in Spartanburg, and we are the local place for all your running needs. So if you get the time, come by and see us. We can help you get fitted for some shoes and take care of anything you need to get started on a running program. So today, one thing we wanted to talk about, we wanted to kind of give you guys some tips to get started in a running program, because running is such a fantastic activity for families. It has one of the lowest barriers of entry, right? You don't need a whole lot of equipment, you don't need a fancy membership. Really all you need is a good pair of shoes and a pair of socks and a willing attitude, and you can get out there and find a place to run and enjoy that community. One thing I would like to say, as with any physical activity, it's important that you consult with your physician, to just make sure that you're healthy enough to engage in the activity. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. As far as tips, first thing that's really important, and again, this isn't just because we own a running store, but first and foremost, you really need to get fitted for a good pair of shoes. Not all shoes are created equal. And there are, as you can see on the wall behind us, there are a multitude of different shoes. So if you're buying shoes based on how they look or simply because of the price, a lot of times you could put yourself in a position to get hurt. Because again, that's really the only piece of equipment you have between you and the road out there is your shoes. And again, they're not all created equal.
Let me add this, Chris. I think one other thing to think about with shoes as well is that just because it's a brand, maybe even a brand that we have on the wall, there are also different tiers that these manufacturers use. And so just because, for instance, we might have a Brooks or a Nike, you might say, well, I can go get a Brooks or a Nike someplace else. There are definitely distinct tiers. The shoes that we carry are running specific, and it does make a significant difference. So be careful about fooling yourself into thinking, well, hey, I got X brand and that's going to be a great runner. That may not necessarily be the case. It might be more of a general purpose athletic shoe, which is not a great shoe for running. So let us help you in the fitting process for sure.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Chip. Second one is to start slowly. Like any activity, we've heard it 1,000 times from folks that come into our store, man, running is hard. Well, it is when you first start. So that's why it's really important to start to create a realistic goal. So maybe you're going to set a goal of 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to go out and walk for 30 minutes a day. Because it is a little bit difficult at first, but you've got to set a realistic goal and you've got to start slowly.
Walk run is actually a great way to start. In fact, I've had lots of people over the years ask, how do I just go from not running at all to getting started? If you just set a goal that says, I'm going to try to run for 2 or 3 minutes and walk for a minute, and then gradually increase the amount that you walk, or decrease the amount, or gradually increase the amount you run, or then decrease the amount that you walk. Just any combination of those things is just a great way to get started and just get you moving. And to Chris's point, some of it is just momentum. It's just starting from zero and getting going a lot of times is the hurdle that people never really get across.
Yeah, you've heard the old adage, you got to walk before you run. It really does apply. So it's as simple as, okay, today I'm going to go out for 2 minutes. I'm going to run 2 minutes. I'm going to walk 30 seconds. I'm going to run 2 minutes. I'm going to walk 30 seconds. And if you don't happen to have a stopwatch with you, something else you can do. I used to do this in my early running careers. I'd pick a spot down the road. I'd pick a stop sign, or I'd pick a mailbox. So I'm going to run to this mailbox and I'm going to walk to the next one. So it doesn't have to be complicated, and it's just simple. But that walk-run method is a proven method to help you, and you'll feel a lot better at the end of it. The next one, I'd say, the next important thing to keep in mind is to have a goal. And it could be a lot. I use an example of maybe find a 5K event that you like. We're doing this virtual 5K. This is a great thing. Within the community, and I know with the pandemic, we've been limited to some degree with these, but as things start to open up again, there'll be more and more 5Ks and local community events that you can get involved with. And sometimes having that carrot hanging out there to run towards makes a great motivator to help get you out there. So, and there could be one that supports a particular charity that you like, which sometimes, man, when you've got a heart connection to that event, it really is a great motivator to help get you up every day and know, okay, I got to get out there today, I got to walk, I got to run. So,
along that vein, if you're looking to run this virtual 5K and you'd like to run on a measured certified course, here at the Clemson store, we do a Thanksgiving event every year where we raise food and donations for some local charities. But we have a measured 5K course, and if you come in the shop, one of our staff will be glad to point out the starting point and the ending point and give you some directions. If you'd like to actually run a certified 5K course, we'd be happy to help you out here if you'd like to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So another thing too, another tip, we're talking about running as a family, and that's the great thing about running. Just as there's not a lot of barriers to entries, it's something that you can do as a family. I don't always promote or recommend that you take your child out and you say, hey, come run 3 miles with me right out of the gate, because more times than not you could create a negatively reinforce that habit where it's not enjoyable, and we don't ever want to do that, right? We want to make these things fun for children so that exercise always has a positive benefit. So what you can do, and a lot of times we host a youth cross-country event every year. We have 75 to 115 kids every year, and we play games with them. So red light, green light, sharks and minnows. It's amazing how much you can get a child to run when they're playing a game, and they never even know they're running and getting exercise, and it is a lot of fun. Another thing you can do is take a stopwatch out there with you. Maybe you go to a track or even just a recreation field or your backyard. You pick a distance and you time who runs the fastest. You'd be surprised when you put a competitive piece to that, how much fun that is and how much the kids look forward to beating mom or dad, especially.
Well, and if it ends up being purely you trying to convince your child to go, then the worry becomes, are you kind of creating the exact opposite effect you want? Instead of making them want to go, it becomes, like you say, almost a form of punishment or drudgery, and that's the least thing you want to do. And when we look back at these 5 years of doing the youth cross country, these kids get out of the car jumping and excited to be there, which is really kind of surprising. And so really, to Chris's point exactly, by making it fun, you'd probably be surprised at how much your child would be interested in going running with you.
Absolutely. Another tip would be to make sure you do a thorough warm-up and cool down. So often we go out and we prepare for a run or a walk, and we're cold. We get up off the couch and go, time to run, and we go out and we try to stretch cold muscles. It's really important to warm those muscles up before you stretch. So let's say you're doing a 30-minute run walk to start with. Run your first 2 minutes, walk your first 2 minutes, get loosened up, get warmed up, and then stretch. Stretch those hamstrings, stretch your calves, stretch your hip flexors and extensors, those lower hip and leg muscles, and you'll feel a whole lot better. So it doesn't have to be anything extreme, but definitely make sure that you're warmed up a little bit before you take off and before you start that stretching routine. The other aspect would be the cool down. A lot of times we get done and we're like, oh man, I'm done, great. And then we go sit down on the couch. Just as important as stretching on the front end is stretching. It's probably more important stretching on the back end. So just make sure when you're done, walk 3 to 5 minutes to cool that body down, and make sure that you also engage in some more stretching when you're done. Give that body a chance to cool down from that activity. And the last one I'd say, particularly with these summer months, is making sure that you're hydrated. It's a huge huge need, particularly as we come into these warmer months, but anytime we're engaging in activity. Anything under 60 minutes, water's going to be sufficient. But if you're engaging anything over that, some sort of electrolyte mix would be good to help replenish those electrolytes. And just to make sure that you're getting all those, those needed nutrients that you need to stay hydrated.
Just be super mindful and listen to your body. We all know our bodies better than anybody else. And a lot of us grew up kind of in an era of no pain, no gain. And obviously, as you're training for something, you need to push yourself, or you might want to push yourself. But obviously, that can go too far. And so there's a very thin line between pushing yourself and trying to get better. But we've seen it, especially here in the store, people that kind of take that a little too far and push themselves to the point of getting injured. And all of a sudden, a little bit of pain turns into 3 months not being able to do what they want to do because they pushed too far. So just listen to your body and be patient with yourself as you're getting better. The progress will come.
Absolutely.
You can find more information about us at our website, which is at www.gottacrunclemson.com. There's a launching page for all 3 of our stores there. You can find maps, store hours, phone numbers, directions, the whole deal, as well as you can even order. If you knew what your shoe was, if you've already been properly fitted, you can buy shoes on our website, as well as some other paraphernalia and that type of thing.
Running is a fantastic way to stay fit. That it's like I said, it's easy to get into. If you do it right, get fitted for a good pair of shoes, take your time, set realistic goals, get your family together, make it a family affair, and you'll have a great time out there and become part of this great running community. And so from all of us here at Gotta Run Clemson, we wish you all happy running.